Hello, Red Sox fans, and welcome to another video. It's another injury. My God, it never ends. It's another oblique injury by our newcomer Roman Anthony, and we have thoughts on it. Of course, do we have worries about it? Who's to say? As
Mhm.
always, I'm going to toss it over to our correspondent Brandon, and then I'm going to give my thoughts as well. But Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Roman Anthony injury? So close to the playoffs,
Yeah,
nonetheless.
yeah, it's definitely it's a blow. I mean, Alec Bregman said it after the game. He called it a gut punch. It's true. They still beat the Guardians. At the time of this recording, it's Wednesday morning, so the results of the MRI have not come out yet. For those who didn't see, at this point, you probably have seen when you're watching this video, but Roman Anthony hurt himself on September 2nd during a swing when he struck out in the fourth inning against the Guardians. It's a left oblique injury, so that could be really serious. Oblique injuries tend to be, notoriously very fickle. It might just be some cramping, it might just be some tightness, it might be a legitimate strain, in which case that could keep him out for the rest of September. Maybe the playoffs. Again, we don't know right now at the time of this recording. The MRI results have not been made public, but it is worth keeping in mind that this is the kind of injury that can alter the season. Obviously, Roman Anthony did sign his big contract extension, which we've talked about a bunch. He's locked in as the face of the franchise going forward. This shouldn't hurt him, 2026 and beyond. But the Red Sox are really good right now. Like they've really turned the Jets on, in August and now early in September. And, obviously, if Anthony's out, that's probably your best overall player, probably your second best hitter besides Alex Bregman. And even Bregman's been pretty cold recently. So, again, I'm not gonna, doom and gloom it yet. I'm not gonna, say the sky is falling. We don't know, the extent of the injury, but this could be pretty serious for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I would agree with you here. A statement that was put out is that in theory, Jaron Duran will take over the position again, which is fine. He's been a great asset to us in the past. My thought process with any team, it doesn't have to be the Red Sox, is in theory, with one player out, it should not, all the pieces should not fall if one player, goes on the IL.
Hmm.
However, you do make the good point that Roman Anthony, as Alex Bregman said, is one of the best players in baseball right now. And so it is a little worrisome. Again, not know, everybody's kind of on the edge of their seat because we are in such an unknown right now. We don't know how bad the injury is. Hopefully, it's so mild that, it's maybe a few days, a few weeks of rehab. But again, we don't know. And that's the scary part, in my opinion, is being so out of it because I think the Red Sox have worked so hard in this season to get where they are, especially bringing up so many minor league players from their farm system. And it's kind of worrisome to, after the injuries we had in the beginning of the season, I really do hope that this is minor at the end of the day. Again, being so close to the playoffs.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Obviously, Jaron Duran, is a pretty seamless fit. Yeah, he's not Roman Anthony on defense. Jaron Duran's been pretty dang good on offense in the second half. We know he's capable, really capable at the plate. Obviously, again, you don't want to lose Roman Anthony, but as far as, as far as you can get prepared for an injury like this, the Red Sox, are pretty prepared. Obviously, we've talked at length about like the outfield logjam, which long term, there still needs to be a solution to that. But for the short term, it helps to have this amount of depth, to be able to roll a guy like Jaron Duran out there full time again. Obviously Willie Abreu hopefully is going to come back from his injury, and then you'll have the full outfield again sort of set up. Again, there's depth here to be able to make do for the next couple of weeks or whatever. And obviously at this point, the priority is getting Roman Anthony healthy for the playoffs. It's just he's obviously really key to that playoff push in the first place. Obviously the Red Sox are fighting for the wild card. They're in contention for the AL East at this point. Obviously they're still a few games back, but they're in contention for it. So, I'm not gonna, again, I don't want to go too far. We don't know how minor or major this, sort of conversation is going to be. We don't know how serious this injury is going to prove to be. But I will say that if there was one player that the Red Sox really could not afford to get hurt, it was Roman Anthony. And so, him being out for any extended period of time absolutely puts, a dent in their playoff chances.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, these things happen. This is baseball at the end of
Yeah.
the day. I don't want to, be a negative Nelly, if you will, but these things happen in baseball. And I think that this is a teachable moment for Alex Cora, the front office, and for the Red Sox in general, where you can't always, I'm speaking very hypothetically right now because again, we don't know the extent of what the injury is, right? But let's say that, knock on wood, that his injury extends maybe into the playoffs, right? You cannot put all your chips onto one player. So again, this is a teachable moment for the Red Sox if his injury is as bad as we think it is, and we need a shift where the shift needs to happen, and other people need to kind of step up, like Jaron Duran, like Alex Bregman, like our pitchers. And again, I think that if all of that can happen, and again, we don't put all our cards on Roman Anthony just getting better, I think we'll be fine. But as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll be responding to every single one of them.